Hello wrestling fans, the Wrestling Wizard here and welcome to Wizard Watch, the weekly show where we break down the top moments from this week's episode of SmackDown. Now as always, it'd be very much appreciated if you could like the video, helps the channel out, share the video and even better, subscribe if you're new and get down in the comments section, share your thoughts and opinions. What did you think about tonight's show? Of course we now know that the WWE draft is just 2 weeks away, buzzing for that, so also give your predictions for that down in the comments. Now we gotta start off with the fact that Shinsuke Nakamura is back, baby. I've missed that guy. He is one of my favourite superstars. He's just so charismatic and that entrance, just pure nostalgia vibes. I do miss Rick Boogs involved in it as well, but never say never. The draft is coming up after all, right? And it's safe to say they booked Nakamura strong, his return strong. I mean, he beat Madcap Moss, but I think it served a double purpose because it made him look strong coming back, Nakamura that is, but also it adds layers to Madcap Moss's character. At the moment, he just looks like that WWE 2K generic character. Even the theme is so generic. So maybe they spice his character up, maybe a heel turn. I'm not saying everybody needs the heel turn to shake up their character, but I certainly feel a meaner edge. Maybe they're just breaking him down to build him up. We'll have to wait and see. I'm not so sure about this whole Emma dynamic, but maybe snaps and turns on her. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Next up, we got a matchup between LA Knight and Xavier Woods. And this seems to have started because LA Knight is getting in Xavier Woods' face, breaking his PS5 controllers left, right and centre. And never mess with another man's joystick, in the words of Wade Barrett. We got this match. It was pretty decent. I think it served the purpose of starting an angle here with LA Knight, because LA Knight took another lost to Xavier Woods. Later on in the night also, Xavier Woods challenged Gunther for the IC title, which I like, a babyface challenging a heel champion because they don't know what show they're going to be on in a matter of weeks. It makes sense. And at the same time, the loss by the most devastating maneuver in WWE history in the roll-up pin serves the purpose of building up LA Knight from now. This man, this should be like made legal, should not be taking pins from now on. He should be put like an absolute weapon. I kind of feel they need to go down the Austin Theory route. Now the difference here is the fans are massively behind LA Knight as opposed to Austin Theory in his heel role, although I feel that serves a different purpose. Remember when Austin Theory challenged for the United States title by cashing in the Money in the Bank? And then sort of everybody was saying he's been buried, and then look where he is now. So maybe this is just the start of the comeback for LA Knight. Let's hope. Yeah! Next up, we got a match between Damian Priest and Santos Escobar. I like this. I like the whole feud between Judgement Day. It seems an LWO. On a side note, it also looks at the same time like Zelina Vega is going to be challenging Rhea Ripley for her title. Maybe it might not be a title match, but it certainly looks like those two are going to have a match. And the dynamic between Judgement Day and LWO, the Latino World Order, just works. And I like the fact at the same time that they're booking Damian Priest seriously again now. He's getting matchups, he's getting more spotlight, he's getting more talk time on the microphone. Damian Priest, all 6'5" of him, is looking like he's going to get booked stronger down the line. And this kind of makes sense. He got the victory over Santos Escobar, albeit with Rhea Ripley sort of getting involved in those Judgment Day shenanigans, which we know. And at the same time, you've got Ray still wanting to beat down his son, Dominic, and teach him a lesson. And it just works. I'm loving these two factions head to head. I'm loving how this is going to play into Backlash as well. You've got to throw Bad Bunny into the equation as well. He, of course, cost Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania. So we'll see how this plays out. We also saw the newly crowned women's tag team champions Liv and Raquel come out, sort of strut their stuff. Sort of more of a celebration. And I love the duo, little and large. I also feel at the same time, somewhere down the line, inevitably they'll lose those tag team belts. Let's face it, like, I hope they get a lengthy reign, but at some point they'll lose the belts. One of them is going to turn on one another. Whether that be Raquel turns on Liv or Liv turns on Raquel, the amount of times Liv's been turned on, it makes sense logically if she starts to fear that things are starting to crumble down the line, that she turns on Raquel. But Raquel's 6 foot and an absolute weapon, so I wouldn't mess with her. But we'll have to wait and see how that plays out. The tag team bouts do tend to play hot potato between different tag teams, so I hope this isn't the case. But it seems like already they have a challenger, or challengers, in Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. The two Karens, really, I suppose you could say. I like this. I really like this. I could see this going down well where, let's face it, the Hills probably aren't going to get the victory here. They're going to keep Liv and Raquel in this sort of babyface massively over, can appear in house shows and get a massive pop for a while before inevitably they book Raquel in a more serious light. They've teased, of course, Rhea Ripley and Raquel, and then you could sort of have this more fierce version of Raquel, this more dominant version, heel version I'd love to see at some point. But again, that's just my wish. Get down in the comment section, share your thoughts and opinions. And finally, that brings us on to the main event, Solo Sikoa versus Matt Riddle. And I love it when a feud makes logical sense. After all, Matt Riddle would want to get revenge on Solo Sikoa after putting him on the shelf for several months. And it was a decent match between the two. But Solo Sikoa, the one standing dominant, delivering the Samoan spike. I love that finishing maneuver. And I love this whole bringing the family into it. You know, hearing the name drops of Rikishi in a promo earlier on in the night. And they're really making a point of making Solo Sikoa the dominant one in the trio of the Usos and, of course, Solo. Paul Heyman on the side as the wise man. And I like this because if you look at it, Roman Reigns is kind of got Solo Sikoa as his new right-hand man, kind of replacing Jey Uso really in a way, because when it counts, Solo is there for Roman. Go back to Clash at the Castle, he was there, saved Roman against Drew McIntyre. He saved Roman Reigns on the grandest stage of them all against Cody Rhodes. If it weren't for Solo, Roman wouldn't have walked out of WrestleMania with the undisputed titles. So arguably Solo Sikoa is more valuable to Roman Reigns. At the same time, you've got Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens teasing the Usos the fact that the Bloodline at some point will crumble. I don't think necessarily it'd be the Bloodline as a whole will crumble. I think at some point Roman's just going to get sick of the Usos and they'll be expelled in a way because they're surplus to requirements, if you like, for Roman Reigns. We know deep down Jey is torn. Internally, probably wants to batter Roman Reigns with a chair like Sami Zayn did. But externally, he's standing up for what he believes in the tag team scene with his brother, the belief that they can get those tag team titles back because they're a more dominant and more cohesive tag team, that Sami and Kev will just crumble and fall out anyway. So they're standing defiant. And I like this because you're not just going to give up your tag team belts after holding them for like over 600 days. It just wouldn't make any sense. At the same time, you're throwing Riddle into this. So inevitably, we're going to get this trio versus trio match. Solo and the Usos versus Sami, Kevin and Matt Riddle. And I'm all down for it. But this Bloodline storyline continues to get juicy. It should go away from being a movie now and just be a series that never ends. Week by week we get these like cliffhangers, and the big questions at the moment are really Jey Uso and his loyalties. Where do they really lie? And also what Roman Reigns thinks of the Usos at the moment. We can kind of work out what he thinks, but how is he going to act? That's what we have to wait for next. Hopefully we'll see Roman soon when he appears, but he seems to be on another break. Kudos to the guy if you get a contract like that. I'm not going to moan about it. Like, Roman's delivered some absolute gold. And if it weren't for him, there'd be no Bloodline. Also, I love the little lines earlier on in the night from Sami Zayn saying that the Usos were going to have to go back to their daddy empty-handed. Like, ouch. Loved it. Thank you so much for watching the video. Of course, the WWE draft is just a couple of weeks away. Do you think you're going to see our boy Bray Wyatt back? If so, do you think he's going to be maybe shifted to Raw? I kind of feel that'd be a better place for him. More time to have lengthier promos. More time to wrestle, hopefully. And of course, Raw's a 3-hour show, and I think it would just suit a Bray Wyatt character better. Let's hope, of course, he's healthy and he's well, and only comes back when he truly is ready. But we're certainly missing him on the product on our Wizard Watch SmackDown reviews, of course. Doesn't really feel the same without Bray, so hopefully we'll see him soon. And as always, very much appreciated if you could like the video, share the video, even better, subscribe if you're new, and we'll catch you in the next one.